Ganz korrekt auf der Couch.
Ja.
Nee, verstehe ich, dass du dann nicht wieder weggehst.
Ja, findest du mein T-Shirt? Ist das schön?
Super. Ja, wunderbar.
Ja.
Das Logo kann
Hab
man
ich doch
gut
hinbekommen,
lesen.
oder?
Ja, und überhaupt der ganze Avatar sieht gut aus. Ich kenne dich zwar nicht, aber wenn ich es da hinten mit dem Foto vergleiche. Ja.
Ja. Aber ich finde es toll, wie schön das sich anpasst. Das sieht ja wirklich sehr realistisch aus, als ob sich das Logo
Dem
so über
Faltenwurf, ne, und dem Licht.
Faltenwurf,
Ja.
das ist schon toll.
Ladies
Ja.
and gentlemen, we are live.
Yes, great.
Hello, everybody.
We start.
If you may, could stand over here, so we have a nice view on this slide over there. Would be very great. So, yeah. Hello. Hello, everybody, and a warm welcome to our X-Night. My name is Stephanie. I'm from VM People, as you can see here. And it's great to see you all here today from different places and time zones and backgrounds. It's a great mix today, I think. And before we dive in, I would love to get a quick sense of the room. So who is joining a social VR event like this for the very first time today? Could you please raise your hand? Ooh, there's a hand. There's another hand. Another hand. Another hand. Great to have you here. And don't worry, we guide you through this experience. And yeah, we don't bite. Today's session is called Finance in XR, why immersive technologies are becoming relevant to the finance industry. And yeah, the financial world is facing increasing complexity, as we all know, and products are harder to explain. Expectations are rising, and yeah, traditional formats often reach their limits. And at the same time, immersive technologies, as we use it today, explore and reach very, very quick and evolving very fast. So the question is, where do these two worlds meet? And yeah, where do they actually create a value? And that is exactly what we want to explore together today, not in theory, but with real perspectives and great use cases and yeah, honest discussions with a fireside chat with Gerald Kottmann and Christian Salo, and a great panel over there, also with Christian Salo, Dr. Jan Donges, and Jürgen Michels, and Dr. Oliver Everling. And yeah, I'm really excited. Little bit over me or over us. For those who don't know us yet, we are VM People, and we are an agency that is focused on immersive brand experiences. And we work at the intersection of storytelling, technology, and life experiences. Formats like X-Night are part of how we bring people together to explore what's next. And before we continue, a big thank you to RAUM for providing the platform for today's event. Thank you very much, Rolf and team. We are very happy to be here and to share this space with all of you. And not only here in VR, but also in the video live stream. So if you look over there, you might think, oh, is it a pig? Is it a bird? Is it a dragon? No, it's a live stream camera. And don't worry. So also a warm welcome to our viewers in the live stream. Great to have you here. And some of you might already know this, but once a year we bring all of this together in a bigger format. Our festival, Immersive X. Some of you had joined it before. And yeah, our festival, which will take place again this November. It's a global XR festival where creators, companies, and communities me to explore the transformative power of immersive technologies together. And today we actually have some special to share. We are premiering the official trailer for Immersive X this year, and this is the very first time it's being shown anywhere. So you are the first audience to see it. And yeah, Gerald, if you could do me the favor to switch to our trailer, we can have a look.
Schon wieder Manga-Kram.
Destination confirmed. Time teleportation completed.
Ooh, yeah, I'm very excited. So I can wait till November. And if you're working on projects, ideas, or topics that you think should be part of the conversation, we are currently shaping the program, and we are also looking for new voices and perspectives, and not only manga kram. And yeah, so feel free to reach out to us afterwards. We would love to see you again at the Immersive X. But for now, let's focus on today. And we are really looking forward to this session and to the discussion ahead. And yeah, with that, I would like to hand over to our host for today, Christian Salo. Christian, the stage is yours.
Stephanie, thank you very much. That was great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the X-Night Finance and XR. My name is Christian Salo. I'm Managing Director of Alti. This is a media platform connecting institutional investors with the asset management industry across Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Before we begin the program, a quick thank you, Stephanie, Christoph, and Thomas, who is not here tonight. To all from the VM people, thank you for making this happen. You made a great event. Thanks for the organization and the landing devices. That was fantastic. Please give them a warm applause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steffi. Yeah, tonight we explore a simple but powerful, a very powerful question. How can immersive technologies move from hype to real value in finance? A very specific question. We are coming from finance, or I'm coming from finance. So I want to ask the question, how can the VR device help me in talking better communication to my clients, to my people, to my stuff? And I think we can give you some solutions tonight. I hope so. We'll start with a short fireside chat. This is followed by the main part, the panel discussion. After the awards, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. Please use the questions. And the event is being streamed. Stephanie already mentioned it. You see the hovering camera in the background. The streaming will stop after the Q&A. Before we go to the rooftop and go for networking there, we are not streaming, we are not recording. So you can feel free in all the conversations. We don't misuse anything. Fireside chat. We do have a fireside, and Gerard, you follow me to the fireside.
Sure,
It's over here to the right side from my hand. And please join us at the fireside chat. And I'm very happy to welcome Gerald. Gerald, where shall I go?
Yeah, come to my right side. Yes.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm coming over here.
Just the other right.
The other right.
Yes.
The left right. Okay. Yeah, I'm very happy. Gerald, Managing Director of Alice to Bob. Gerald has been working at the intersection of business and immersive technologies for many years. and he has played a key role in shaping the realm that we are into tonight. Thank you for the interior and all your big work. He's now just talking about immersive spaces. He's helping companies use them efficiently. Gerald, great to have you here. Can I fire the first question for the fireside chat?
Go for it.
Please briefly explain the concept behind RAUM. And I would like to listen to your ideas about the metaverse. Is it that? Which kind of metaverse we are in? Please give us your view of the things.
Yeah, sure, sure. Nice to have you all here, dear Metanauts. I'm I'm enjoying it already. And yeah, what is RAUM? RAUM is a brand name at first, and it's a brand name for a German enterprise metaverse platform. And that brings us to the question, what the hell is an enterprise metaverse platform? It's easier to understand what this is if you take a moment to explore the so-called metaverse. Metaverse is a 3D digital interactive platform, not more nor less. But the metaverse does not exist as a single entity. There is no the metaverse. Rather, there are between 100 and 200 metaverses coexisting. And these metaverses are digital 3D platforms that serve different purposes. And to give you a little orientation and to make understanding easier for you, I have this slide with me, and I place it here that all of you might have a short look. All these slides we will find later on after the show on the rooftop. And this slide, Pierre, is dedicated to you. It is very helpful for basic classification to broadly distinguish three types of platforms: the consumer platform, the consumer metaverses, the enterprise metaverses, and the industrial metaverses. I say metaverses because there are between 100 and 200 platforms in all these three categories. And each metaverse contains multiple words. RAUM is a metaverse here in the enterprise class. Here in the consumer metaverse, most of you will have heard about VR Chat, which is a US-based consumer metaverse platform. And each of these metaverses contains multiple worlds. VR Chat, for instance, consists of thousands of open worlds created by digital creators worldwide. Some of them are among us tonight. And on the other hand, on the right-hand side, we have the industrial metaverse. And the industrial metaverses are typically used for digital twins of components, for example, or entire factory, technical components like electric motors or wheels or whatever you can think about. And users can then explore all in the real world scale. I mean, if you have an entire factory as digital twin, and this is built by companies like NVIDIA, with their famous three-dimensional object database, and supported by Siemens here in Germany. This is a great place which is very alive. And the last BMW car factory in Hungary was firstly developed as a digital twin and then brought into life. Well, and in between you find the enterprise metaverse, and the enterprise metaverses are closed corporate spaces where companies invite guests. This is a closed community tonight, and you are invited. This is different to VRChat, for instance. And they are suitable for IT security and, of course, GDPR compliant. And as RAUM is a German platform, it's hosted in Germany. That makes a difference for a lot of companies. Well, even RAUM offers various workspaces for small groups, such as here in the so-called rock house because of the rock beneath us, or for large product or service exhibitions. There are multi-story tall halls or entire campus grounds for enterprise campus. And all are designed to the highest standards and are even renowned for this in the US. Even in the United States of America, RAUM is famous for its design. And this is important to know because this is a clear differentiator against other enterprise metaverse platforms. Well, there are companies with 50, 60, or even 70 workspaces, for instance, all small worlds tailored for specific applications. So you have 100 to 200 platforms. Each platform contains worlds, more than 1,000 in VR chat and dozens in enterprise metaverses. So the same applies to all these worlds. And the difference is be in it rather than just looking at it. I mean, looking at the screen. We are in, we dive into it. We are not looking on it. And that makes a difference. Okay. I delete this one. And the Christian wanted to know why do companies use an enterprise metaverse? And the situation is that today some companies are calling their employees back to the office, but some employees would rather continue working from home. So you have a mixture. Other companies work with teams spread across different locations, whether it's national or international or within campus sites. And the keyword is distributed work. And in this case, people spend the whole day in front of a screen in video meetings. And you all know that under the name Zoom fatigue, for instance. And immersive meetings, or you can also call them in-world meetings like this one here, are the better option. And check this out. I have for you a second slide, make it bigger for you. This slide contains the results
Can I just add something, Gerald?
Yes, sure.
If you can't read the small letters, don't worry. We have the same slide upstairs at the rooftop. When we go for networking, you can take a relaxed view on that and read that in detail. Please.
Yeah, what you see here is the result of studies from the Lower Saxony Ministry of the Interior. Das ist in German das niedersächsische Innenministerium. And they checked two types of meeting, the traditional video meeting, the Zoom, against meetings in the Quest, like we do tonight. And the result is that people using the Meta Quest feel plus 58% relational closeness. Relational closeness means my relation to Christian, for example, the relation between the two of us is far more closer than compared to an MS Teams meeting. And then we have nearly 50% more social presence. Social presence is how I feel when I talk to you. Now, it's for me, I can stand up. You see, I stand in front of you. I can sit down. I can walk around. I can work. And this is better like any MS Teams meeting or video meeting. And we together as a group of 20, 30 people like tonight, we have a better group identification. And these are very important figures for all companies and for all teams working together. And in the end, I want to point out that people report to have 25% more fun during work. And I think it's allowed. It's not forbidden to have fun during work. These are fine results. Well, and last question is what do companies use workspace environments for? And let me show you this too. My last slide for you, my 10 minutes introduction is this one. And here you see the favorite use cases by German companies using enterprise metaverses. And you see it's around training and education. employee training, onboarding, simulation, very strong use cases in enterprise metaverses, product presentations, can be service presentations, of course, too. It's not only products done by Lufthansa or Ergo or WWK, PS are among us. Very strong enterprise metaverse platform, WWK, it's an insurance group, or Societe Generale. Or we have Bayern LB among us, Jürgen on the stage later on using RAUM too. It's great for events and meetings, conference like Immersive X, workshops, roundtables. SAP, German SAP is a client from RAUM. It's a strong user. Or ABB is another client of RAUM. And last but not least, of course, collaboration itself. Whether it's internal and global or various teams or various locations, you see. And that's the reason all of these use cases can also be implemented here with ROM and much more. Recruiting, for instance, or employer branding, machine operations. There are no limits in virtual reality. Christian, this is what I wanted to give our team here as a short intro, as an orientation.
Excellent, excellent. And I can guarantee you, Gerald and I, we spent hours planning this event here, and we didn't make it over phone. We just went into the realm and we tried it. We were immersive in. We didn't check emails or did phone calls. We were just together as we were together in a real room in real world. And it was just great because it was efficient. He was in Munich, I was in Frankfurt, but we were together and we felt the closeness and also the emotional jokes we did.
Christian,
Yesterday,
may I
please.
underline that the two of us never met in physical life.
Oh, that's true.
Never met. I
Don't
don't
know how
know
he really
Christian,
looks.
only as avatar.
Yeah. We need to
Great,
change
huh?
that next week. Next week we change that in real life. Yesterday was the LearnTech. It's a big learning conference exhibition in Germany, and they did a lot of VR, AR, XR stuff. And I've seen one great application. They had a welding machine, and you could simulate welding metal with the VR glasses and a piece of a controller, and they simulated the gas, the flame, and the energy bringing to the welding to just glue it together. I was fascinated by it, and it works. The people who are learning welding on this machine, they have less waste in the metal they bring together. So it's actually a great thing for manufacturing. It's not only just training, talking, and having meeting together. It's really handy work, and that's great. So, any question from the auditorium?
Mhm.
Rom,
There's one, I think.
Yeah.
please.
Training. Arguably, it could be with enterprise or in industrial or both. Do you see it as a continuum? Do you see it distinguishing any features that would distinguish where you would put it in a enterprise metaverse versus an industrial metaverse?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the borders are flowing. It's not, there are no hard borders, no.
I think
On
it's
the
very
other side,
soft.
yeah. There are
It
even
depends on the
companies using
application.
VR chat. Yeah,
Cool.
thanks.
Any further question? If not, then I invite you to come over. We are continuing with the panel discussion. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much. Give him a clap hands,
Great.
please. That was a
Yeah,
great
thank you.
introduction
Thank you.
to
Thank
ROM
you.
and the metaverse.
Yeah.
Great.
And come over here. I'm collecting the panelists and bringing them to the couch. Please teleport yourself on the podium. Turn and sit. Are we looking good? Please give us feedback. Are we sitting or are we still standing?
No, you're looking nice. It's great. Great choreography.
Thank you. We trained that
Nicely done.
actually.
Yeah.
So, and I can tell you the stream runs and we have a lot of people in the 2D world connecting to us here in the immersive world. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thanks to my panelists. I would like to introduce them now. We are
Whoa.
talking about
What happened to the couch?
Oh, yeah. chaos. I'll give you a helping hand. Wait. Don't touch your couch. And yours too.
Hands up.
What did you do?
Put
Just
the hands
sit.
up.
Just sit. Okay. Yours too.
Right.
Does it look good again?
Yeah.
Okay. Yours. Lift yours a little bit. Good. Fine.
Okay. Let me start with my panelists. We have Dr. Jan Donges, Dr. Jürgen Michels, and Dr. Oliver Eberling. Jan, great to have you here. You are an expert in AI and transformation in the financial sector, working for a leading international consulting firm. It has a blue logo, 4 letters. We don't tell the people more. You can open yourself
Exactly.
if you would like. And today you're here as an XR practitioner. Dr. Jürgen Michels, thank you for joining us today. It's also the first time I met. Jürgen and I are meeting. We are meeting in the XR world now. Jürgen, you are the chief economist at Bayern LB. This is one of Germany's major Landesbanken. It's a concept we only have in Germany, I would say, but it is
That's right.
a big banking system. And he is actually one of the most active XR users in the financial industry. I can guarantee you. Dr. Oliver Eberling, thank you for joining. Oliver, what a pleasure. You are the CEO of Rating Evidence. You are author of more than 50 books. Oh, you like writing, I guess. And you are one of Europe's pioneers in credit rating systems. Is that right?
Yeah, specializing on
Okay.
ratings of all kinds. Yes,
Okay,
investment
cool.
ratings,
So,
credit ratings.
fantastic. So I would like to shoot with John first. Jan, we met at a very special event where you demonstrated workflows using the Apple Vision Pro, right? And I was
Exactly.
so fascinated by Jan's presentation that I immediately invited him for a podcast. And we were not talking less than the global future of the asset management industry. And it was one of my longest podcasts, actually. We spent with a colleague of you more than 1 hour in the podcast. It was great. I learned a lot. And actually, Jan, my first question to you, what drives you? What is your motivation to use XR in your work? And what is relevant with VR in the finance industry?
First of all, Christian, thank you so much for having me. What drives me is basically the interaction we had at the conference, the cloud conference from KPMG. Because when we started that, we had a lot of interactions with people there who were fascinated by the technology, who love to see it, but who thought it's more like a very expensive toy they're gonna buy their children at some point, maybe. And when I showed you our demonstration, you immediately the potential. That it's more than a toy. That it's actually something which can influence or has impact on the finance industry. And yeah, so it was an easy decision to do a podcast with you. And to your question, what I see in the maybe in the broader industry right now, um, so far I don't see broad adoption yet in the industry, but I see a clear movement, as I've said earlier, from like curiosity to now proof of concepts, and we can see such examples, for example, at JP Morgan or also at the Bayern LB, and I'm sure Jürgen will talk a little bit more about that later. And so use cases we'll see in the area of like internal training, maybe business to business communication, but also in the explanation of maybe more complex financial products.
Mhm. Great. Jürgen, you operate at the core of the major banking institution. Um, well, actually, the German banking industry is not well known for early adoption. Sorry if I say that so clearly. But I worked decades for banks, and when it comes to technology, they always last. Um, what motivates you to start using XR, and how does it fit into your daily work and the work of your people, of your employees, of your partners?
Yeah, thank you very much first for being here. Yes, you're right that very often, at least in recent years, banks were not at the edge of new technologies, and particularly than public-owned institution, maybe even a bit more conservative, a bit more risk-averse, looking for things. But I'm heading the research department, and we are looking at larger meta trends and stuff like this. And there we came along this technology that might really change things. And thanks to Gerald, which brought me closer in the first place to these technologies, we dig deeper and try to find out what is not just at the beginning for the immediate impact on the economy, but also the potential influence what this could have on real estate markets, collaboration, and things like this. So there was a twofold thing. One thing is, what does it mean operational for the bank? And when we started with our experience at the bank, we did I would say, the traditional way, trying to use exactly those educational things. So we have a kind of a risk academy. It's an internal academy for giving lectures, giving new knowledge to the people, particularly in the risk department. And there we had a thing going on, what was knowing how you do your country risk analysis. So getting in Oliver's sphere. And then we started, yeah, it was a normal PowerPoint presentation. It was done in person before the pandemic, and then we put it in Teams. And now it was the thing, can you make it more interactive? And we started this thing, and it's actually way more fun and getting people involved there. Now we're exploring new ways, getting clients involved, and not just for internal collaboration, but also particularly in the real estate sector for valuation of buildings, scan stuff, so what you can do there. So there are many approaches up to the point when we finance, you mentioned the welding thing, we finance some.
Oh no, probably something happened to the VLAN. Actually, I would just want to add something. Jürgen just mentioned that he is having a training center. If you take a look to the spawn point on the right of the sofa, you see a video, and that is one of the training sessions Jürgen is doing with his colleagues and with his team. So they're really coming together, and they're immersive in their work, in their daily work. And I find it actually very extraordinary that he doesn't only want to do that internally, that he also wants to invite his clients. It's a big step in the financial industry to invite your clients into new technology. Jürgen will come back as soon as he has more battery or more bandwidth. Let's continue with Oliver. Oliver, what brought you into the metaverse? And when actually did you take the virtual reality serious?
It's exactly 5 years ago, and there were mainly two reasons. Uh, First of all, on October 28, 2021, I heard that Mark Zuckerberg was renaming his concern from Facebook to Meta. And I thought, since I'm working with investments and financial decisions, etc., I thought nobody could be so crazy to waste so much money on a crazy idea
Please
like
don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Fix it.
Go ahead, Oliver. It's just
nobody should be so crazy to waste so much money on a metaverse. And therefore, I rented only for 3 months a Quest 2 device just to find out why he is doing that. That was one thing. And the other thing was that uh, my wife broke both of her hips by accident. So
Okay.
she was bound to a wheelchair. And
Oh,
we are in the time of the Corona crisis. We need to go to a rehabilitation center, a clinic, rehabilitation clinic. And my choice was either not to see my wife again for the next 5 weeks
mhm.
or to join her to the rehabilitation center. I decided to join her, but when I checked in the rehabilitation center, they told me, uh, well, you know that you have 30 minutes to join your wife for lunch, dinner, and breakfast, but you are not allowed to leave your room. You
Hmm.
have to stay in your room all the time. And okay, you can walk out, but there was nothing. I was not allowed to take a bus. So
So,
it
but
was, in
you
fact,
used your
like a
VR
prison.
device. You used the
Pardon?
VR device to shorten the time, yeah?
Exactly. So
Cool.
I was like in a prison, and I found out with a device like this one, the world feels totally different. I have the freedom of big rooms. I can meet people like in reality. So this was a game changer for me that I understood what this technology means, that you can feel free. You can
Hmm.
feel free to
Hmm.
contact anybody and you can do a lot of things. You can play ping pong, you can play table tennis, whatever. And all you can all do this in a very small room of a rehabilitation center. That is
Excellent.
really fascinating.
Yeah. It opens a universe actually. Let's come back to the banking industry. And Jürgen, you just dropped out for whatever reasons. I would like to continue with you as long as I have you here on the couch. Where do you actually see the most immediate value using VR? Is it training? Is it client interaction? Is it collaboration? Is it bringing people together? What is it actually?
I think probably training is a very huge field where you can really go forward and do many things. But that's just an internal thing, and I think it depends a bit on the network, how easy it is for clients and using it. So if you have to send around the devices and all of those things, then it's a bit of a hassle at the beginning. But the
Mhm.
hope is broader it gets, that yeah, when you have clients in, as we saw the list beforehand, if you're interacting with those people, it's very easy to set up a client meeting with them as well, and then discuss real stuff. It's then easier. You bring in your presentation, you can really interact with each other, and I think it's way closer to that what you would do otherwise, and you do not have to um, sometimes fly around the world before seeing them. So I think these are very important areas where you can really do work together. Um, and then the other thing, it's really this, because we are funding and financing stuff, but it's also that have to know the assets what you're dealing with, and I think in that respect you get a better understanding about those assets. I think again with real estate, if you do some marketing or selling of some high scraper in New York, and you want to show that to your client, you have to fly them over there, or if it's a good scan, you can watch it from your office in Munich or London, and do it then at the same time. So I think these are the areas where you can go ahead, but you probably find out when you go on with the first things. We now start kind of a section with discussions on what we want to do, bringing people in what you normally would only do in a kind of a room and have an event. I think this is also events, what you can do in the big squares.
Yeah, that's a great point actually, because real estate is so hard to understand. If you are building it up and you need to sell it to people, you need to use the full imagination or drag the people into the real estate. And sometimes you can't do that because you can't get the people over there, or the facility is not yet open for visitors. So you need to find something to make their or to enrich their imagination. And that actually, I would like to continue with a question to Jan. Where do you see the scalable applications? And I would like to switch on to the real estate thing, because we have a lot of a lot of very complicated products in the German market or in the European market, LTIF and some real estate vehicles that are very hard to explain. How would you use them? And you're a consultant. You have to deal with that every day with your clients. You have to sell them the paper and the rights behind it. How do you do it actually?
Yeah, I think that's financial products are perfect, or VR is perfect for financial products. Let's put it this way, because we have this abstraction gap between the virtual product, which we are trying to sell in the finance industry, and the underlying real world, for example, real estate. And my vision is that clients can physically walk through their investment. What kind of impact would that have on their understanding of the investment, of their ability to see where their returns come from? It would be possible to discuss risk interactively, and especially for complex products like, for example, the what you mentioned, the European Long-Term Investment Fund, the LTIF, where it's possible to invest in infrastructure, data farms, wind farms, and so on. Those products right now, they exist, but we actually don't see a lot of inflow of liquidity into those products. And this is to a large part because the advisors struggle to sell it. And I think it's to a large part because the clients don't really understand what underlies those products. And like I said, can bridge this gap and therefore really help the advisor to sell such products.
Yeah.
And
To
may
make
I
it
just add
touchable.
one point there? I think
Yes,
you said
please.
what is a great example that you show the underlying assets. You can actually show them when they go in. But I think it also helps in that what we find out when we did this explanation of the country risk analysis, that you can make a very abstract thing handable. You really can touch it and put things together. What are the components of the rating? And you have the people walking around and putting those components of the rating together and see how this whole thing comes together. And I think
Mhm.
that's way more interaction in actually feeling a very abstract product rather than having a PowerPoint presentation with a formula on it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah. Oliver, actually, I know that you're working with Noda and that you are organizing yourself in a 3D environment. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Also my use case is a little bit different from what we heard so far, because it was mainly about interactions with other people, showing things, etc. Um, the great strength of Noda is, in my opinion, that I can organize information in a 3D space. So what I'm doing is analyzing companies, analyzing financial products and instruments. And everybody who knows about ratings and rating agencies knows that in a credit rating, for example, flows a lot of information. You need information about suppliers, customers, about the management, the production, etc. So the list of rating criteria is quite long and diverse also, depending on the company and the instrument you are analyzing. And in a 3D space, you are able to organize all this information in one space so that you can look at all the criteria at the same time. This is not possible on your notebook. It's not possible even on a large screen. Uh, and you can have a much more intuitive feeling about how you are taking decisions and what is relevant in a decision. You can organize this information. For example, when I'm looking at a pitch deck of a startup, I
Hmm.
put the, the managers of the company in the 3D space, the pictures of them. I connect those pictures with the CVs of those entrepreneurs, those startup people. And I am organizing the information also according to the workflows within the organization. I'm also connecting the dots to products and further information. I can retrieve information from the websites and look at various websites at the same time. That is something you have never a chance to do, even if you have two or three or six monitors or screens in front of you in a traditional way. It's only possible in a metaverse environment.
It's true. It's true. Actually, but we all work for companies, or at least we have controlling regimes, and we need to explain how we use our time and our energy and our budgets. Jürgen, where does XR create real value today? Is it just making the costs a little less, or is it just making money with XR? How do you use it in your organization?
I think we are still at the early stages in that respect, and it's too early to say so. So I think we're still on the investment and exploration path. But at the end of the day, my feeling is it will be a mixture that allows you to make processes more efficient by reducing travel expenditure, things like this, when you can do really meetings through platforms. And the other thing is that you really get a better understanding of products and present those products in a better way, what gives you then additional ability to make business. So I think it might end up in extra revenues, but also to some extent a huge potential also to make procedures more efficient. I think particularly in combination with artificial intelligence, and that probably will help also to reduce costs.
Right. Actually, Jan, you are next to being an expert in the VR space. We know that you're an expert in the AI space. And a lot of people are saying AI is just reducing labor, or just people get fired due to efficiency reasons and so on. Do you see any risk that the VR space will be in the same regime or in the same scenario?
Definitely not on its own. So VR is, in my opinion, a communication layer which is stacked on top of what the advisor is doing. So it's not a substitute for financial expertise or also for regulatory duty, right? So this will evolution of the slide deck. So we won't look at a pie chart on a screen anymore. We'll interact with it in this three-dimensional world. But of course, as Jürgen also mentioned, as soon as you put AI into it, who knows what's going to happen, right? But then it will be the combination of those two, VR itself.
That's a fair point, actually. The combination of VR and AI, still a scenario in the early stages, but I think it is something to develop, and I'm looking forward to that. But if I may ask a second question, is VR then more for enhancing the communication layer? Is it?
Yes,
Or
exactly.
let's put it the other way. How are you using it internally? Are you using it at your company? I don't want to mention the four letters.
The four-letter company. We are using it for creating, how should I put this, for creating an emotional impact with clients. And
So
I think
you're using it for clients, not only
I
internally,
mean,
it's also externally for clients.
not broadly adopted. No.
Okay.
It's proof of concept. So
Still,
we are still in a very early stage.
good, good. What kind of devices are you using?
Predominantly the Apple Vision Pro.
Okay. Is there a reason for that? Is it more professional under your terms, or is it the Quest more, I don't know?
Well, Apple doesn't ship that product, right? So
Hmm.
that's basically the reason. But I mean, we are all using the Meta Quest 3, which is considerably cheaper. And to be honest, I often sometimes think um, a little bit better to wear for longer periods of time because the Apple Vision Pro is I think, a bit heavier.
It is true.
Well, I
It's
may,
true.
may, may I draw the attention to this weight aspect? I'm really confused that people are thinking that the device is too heavy. Because on weekends, I see friends of mine driving their motorcycle and wearing, or they are playing ice hockey and wearing all this dress and hats and caps, etc. So there are so many sports that require very heavy caps and hats, and they do not complain. I think it's more a question whether you really see the advantage of the devices. My workday starts every day with the Apple Vision Pro because I want to read my emails, and this is most easy with Vision Pro because the Apple Vision Pro follows your emails. But when I'm working on something that I'm, for example, collecting information, organizing the information, then the Quest is very convenient because I can use my hands, yeah, and put things in various spaces, etc., in a way which is very convenient and have a menu which can define what the object should look like and what information it should contain. And therefore, we have different use cases for all of those devices.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just one piece of technique. It is really needs to be put in the scenario of the use case. I would like to open the round for the auditorium for questions, if you have any. Think about what you like to ask. I give you another 60 seconds. And in the meantime, I ask just about areas. I hear a lot of from my colleagues when I told them that we organize a VR event, and they say, "Oh, is that with these VR glasses? My daughter has them, and they play with it." And I usually ask them, "Did you use them? Have you ever understood what's going on if you put them on your head?" And they usually say, "No, my kids are doing that. I'm too old for that." And well, it's a scenario that happens a lot, at least in my network of people which are, let's say, over 45, 50 years old. I'm sorry, it's a question of age sometimes, not always. How do you see that, Jan, Jürgen, Oliver? Please, just shoot.
I'm not sure that's only the youngsters using it. So I think Meta is bad at the beginning that all of those guys would use it for playing around. That did not work out. I think it's more kind of aged and more experienced people getting in, and it's probably more of a business like thing what you would do rather than just for all the kids are having it and getting there. But I remember my boss when I showed it him the first time, I said, "Oh, I thought that would be more realistic and not this comic-like thing going on."
Hmm.
But then the next thing said, "Okay, there's something going on. We have to explore what's happening there." The other thing at the Bavarian Chamber of Commerce, and there that's for the famous German Mittelstand things, and they come from all of different companies where they try to use this, and it's then real work and not just playing around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jan,
And I
anything to
also
add?
think, well, yes, I think even if people consider it at the beginning, I don't think that is necessarily bad. I feel like even electric cars in the beginning were something people bought as a toy, as their second or third car. So I think development step technology goes through, and it's just the beginning.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, as I said, different use cases. For example, the Pico glasses I'm using for sports because it's very lightweight. Yeah, it is not so sophisticated like the Apple Vision Pro or the Meta Quest, but for playing tennis, for playing all the Beat Saber similar games, it is very convenient to do sports, and it's even more healthy because you can track how your body is moving. The Quest is good for socializing, for meeting people, to talk to people, and to work on models and similar things. And the Apple Vision Pro is strong in its integration with iPhone, with your MacBook, etc. So you do not need to you do not need to think about where I have put my files in which folder, or whether I can use this program or that one. Or for example, Jürgen, it's so convenient that I do not have to care about my code words, my passwords, etc. I can log into my bank without thinking about my password. It's all installed automatically, and I can do banking business very conveniently on the device. So those are the advantages. And today I have been to the Frankfurt Tech Show. Well, they are using such glasses to work on the racks of computers. You know, the tech show, they are showing a lot of applications for, for the data centers, etc. And they are monitored with glasses. That's most fascinating, that you are using VR, AR glasses to work on computer racks, etc. I didn't even know that this would be possible. It's absolutely fascinating on my head today, and what I could see today at the Frankfurt Tech Show.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, actually, dear auditorium, time for questions. Have the unique scenario of having an important and super good researcher and a rating specialist. What you always wanted to ask these people, shoot now. Please unmute yourself, shoot the question. There is a question in the back.
Yes.
Come a little bit to the front, then we can better hear you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you for this excellent talk. This is very interesting and educational. I was wondering, Dr. Eberling, I think you said you used the Quest for organizing information. What after that?
Yeah. The difference is that I can organize endless information. And Christian already mentioned that I published more than 60 books. And I succeed in doing that because when I'm planning about, I'm not writing it all myself. I'm working always with a team of other co-authors. That means that I have to think about 20 or 30 and sometimes even 40 different authors. And then I put all the names of the authors in the virtual space. And I'm also putting the pictures of every author into the virtual space so that I more easily remember everybody. You know that I have in my books more than 1,000 authors. So it's not so easy to remember everybody, what expert he is about and what he is writing about. And then I'm connecting those dots of the names with the CVs, the pictures, and also the possible contents, what they could write about. And then I'm organizing the structure of the book. What are the main chapters? How could this? And this is not possible on a Word document as I did it before. You know, I started publishing books in the 1990s. Yeah. It was awkward to do that, and a waste of time. A lot of time went into it. Today, it is much more efficiently done. That's the reason why I can come up with 1 or 2 books every year, because it's much more efficiently done in a virtual reality surrounding.
Excellent. Thank you for the question, Ambrose, as N1. Another one? Rum. Go ahead, shoot, please.
In finance, what platform features are most essential? I assume at a minimum you have to be able to do slideshows. Is it important to have 3D objects? Important to have custom widgets? Are there what other features actually make a difference in finance?
Who wants to take over?
May I add one point that is really, if you are a technician that would solve my problem, I would be very grateful, because I have a moment that, for example, credit ratings, AAA ratings, promise a certain default rate within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. And AA ratings, another 1 year, 2 year, 3 year default rate. And to all of those default rates are connected different levels of interest rates, you know? And we, you hear in the news, the interest rates are changing, but in reality, this is interest rates are like mountains, that you have a different structure and different credit rating categories and different time frames, short term, long term, short term interest rates, long term interest rates. So what I'm looking for is somebody would be able to build, reconstruct this reality, this virtual reality, which is nobody can see it at the moment, but it's
Well, at the end, you want to have something to ride the yield curve.
Yes,
and put those things together. And I think that probably
curve
the 3D objects and stuff. I think that really keeps those very abstract things workable. And when it can come with the interest rate peak, so to speak, with the mountain coming up, you can see that many things might be destroyed, and your ratings are under pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not only a curve. It's a road. It's a road. It's not a curve. Yeah, because the curve is just one line. But the reality of interest rates and credit ratings is it's a landscape. It's a landscape, and nobody sees this landscape, although it's existing. It's existing. It's a reality. We need to let us know and see how the reality this reality on the financial markets looks like.
And anything to add?
Nope, nothing to add.
Good. We have time for.
Could I describe that as custom 3D graphics then?
Yeah. Also, my vision for the future is that we will have all this information real time. Yeah, that we put on our headsets, and then we will see what dividends are paid where, and that we how the interest rates fluctuate within 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, etc. Short term, long term, in the AA category, triple B category, triple C category, etc. So that we can see all this information at the same time and have an intuitive feeling. Although, of course, will help us a lot. But nevertheless, the decision on where we put our money is still taken by individuals, by human beings, or groups of human beings, like the rating committees at Moody's or Standard & Poor's. They are committees which credit ratings are appropriate for the Bayerische Landesbank or the Deutsche Bank. So we need to make this information visible.
Excellent. I think we have time for another question. We are fighting a little bit against the time because the one thing in the VR world, the battery packs are usually limited. So if we don't have extra battery packs, then I think we should other question, or just finish it here and go to the rooftop and make a network session and just relax and speak in whatever language you like to speak with your counterpart. What do you think?
That's good.
Oliver, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jürgen, that was great statements you did. And Jan, thank you for your consulting expertise. Please give the panelists a big clap hands.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks.
Many thanks to all of you. So please use the teleport button and follow me. Let's go upstairs
To the
to
drinks.
roof. Just
The drinks,
actually. The
Christian.
virtual